just thinking about pain, and there's several things about pain which is make it really interesting, because in some ways pain is really intelligent as a part of our sensory mechanisms, but in other ways it's really stupid, and I wish it was more intelligent. Because there's several different ways in which it works, isn't it? I mean, some pain just feels like an accompaniment to a reflex. You know, like if I get a spoon, I'm stirring my coffee with a spoon, right? And you're sitting next to me, then without saying anything, I just take the spoon out of the coffee and just touch you in the back of the hand. I'm sure many people have done this. You know, the person will just jerk their hand away really quickly and say, "Ow, that hurt." Fair enough. But it's essentially a reflex. You know, if you look into the detail, the physiology of what's happened there, they've moved their hand away before they felt the pain. You know, well, I don't know the neurology of it, but that's the way it works. The pain follows the action. And in theory, you know, if pain was smarter, it would, or if the physiology of the body around that event was smarter, there's no real reason why you have to feel the pain, as long as the reflex is in place. Because some reflexes aren't like that, you know, like the eye blink reflex. If you get a puff of air in the eye, you can't resist blinking, it's inevitable. But it's not really accompanied by any pain, even though if there was a sustained jet of air focused on your eye, it would damage your eyeball eventually. Or the pupil contraction reflex. You know, if I flick a light across your eye, your pupils will contract. But again, that's not accompanied by pain. Even though, again, if I was to put a bright light into your eye for a long period of time, as anyone who's looked at an eclipse will tell you, you can damage the eye by doing that. So, you know, pain is just a little bit stupid in some ways there, I think. But then that kind of brings me to think about what pain is for. Because just to repeat this, you know, spoon in the coffee, stir it, touch you on the back of the hand thing. If I do this, I'm stirring my spoon around in my hot coffee, and I say to you, I'm going to touch the back of your hand with this spoon in a minute, and it'll hurt. But I'll give you £10 for every second you can leave it there. Yeah? And you agree to that, and then I do it, then you would feel the pain. And it's almost as if the pain is an accompaniment to your not doing what the reflex is telling you to do. You know, it's the sensation of overriding the reflex almost. I mean, I know it's not quite that, but it's an accompaniment to the action of overriding a reflex, it seems to me. And you'll probably be able to hold it there for a few seconds. Actually, it reminds me of something we used to do when I was much younger, and in a very different phase of my life. I used to hang around with a bunch of lads, and we all thought we were terribly badass, you know. And I used to smoke at the time, and I still miss it sometimes. And what we used to do is you'd roll your sleeve up, put two of you, one would roll the left sleeve up, the other would roll the right, and you put your forearms together. Let me just demonstrate. You'd put your forearms together, and then you'd take a cigarette and you'd drop it into the groove here. I haven't got enough arms to demonstrate this, but you drop it into the groove and you just leave it there. We'd seen it on a film once, I think, and the winner would be the person who didn't move their arm while a cigarette burnt their flesh. And I've still got one or two tiny little scars. You probably couldn't see them, so I won't show. Two tiny little scars on my arm from that particular stupid macho exercise in reflex resistance. So pain has there seems to be a function for pain there, in that it allows you to, it kind of acts as a reminder that you are making a choice to follow one course of action, leading to one reward, you know, whether it be the pounds you will win from letting me hold a spoon to the back of your hand, or the reward of some kind of esteem held by your macho mate. You're following the demands of one reward, even though it's causing damage to your body at the same time. You know, so pain seems to be to function as a reminder that you're doing that. It's part of the weighing up process. Okay, I can see the logic of that. The logic I can't see, and here's where I wish pain was more intelligent. You know, because in that one that makes sense. You know, if every situation that we were in, and pain only occurred to us, only happened to us in those totally avoidable situations as accompaniments to stupid choices we were making, then that would be kind of fine. I would accept that. But it doesn't, does it? And this is where I'd like smarter pain. You know, because a lot of pain is not like that. You know, the pain that accompanies, chronic pain that accompanies, if you've got a damaged back. Like I tried to pick up a telly. I used to work for a theatre company years ago in Sheffield, and I tried to pick up a telly in a weird way. One of those big old-fashioned cathode ray tellies. and did something to my back. So every couple of years now I get chronic back pain for about 6 weeks, you know, and I just can't do anything with it. And that's just stupid. I mean, what is that telling me to do, you know? It tells me to sit down, but it doesn't help. It tells me to lie down, do yoga. It tells me all kinds of crap. But effectively serves no function at all. I'm not doing anything else. It's just a reminder that I did something stupid in the past, or something, I don't know. But I don't like that, that's stupid. And again, and other kinds of chronic pain. You know, Dan Ariely, who's a kind of a behavioural economist here on YouTube, he suffered terrible little burns in half of his body when he was younger, and he's written quite a bit about that and made videos about that, about what it's like to lie in a hospital bed and have half of your body effectively in constant pain. And particularly when you're having your dressings changed, he talks about that, about how the nurses change the dressings by pulling the old ones off really quickly, and how just agonising that hour and a half of his life is every day, or was. You know, what function does that serve, you know? It's the old atavistic parts of our bodies telling us to do something, that we're doing something stupid and we're making a bad choice, even though we're not making any choice at all. We're just lying there wishing it would stop. So I do kind of wish pain was smarter. It didn't happen by accident. It only came about when you have when you're in that kind of conscious decision-making process. And ideally you could turn it off at will, you know. Ideally you could turn it off at will, that would be good. Cyclists coming, got to stop. Cyclists. Hello, Phoebe. Hiya.